Hello everyone, it's Chris, and as you can see we have a little snow, just a light coating above the few inches that we got from the last storm. But this is going to make for dangerous riding, and I'll explain why. This is not the coldest day I've ridden. I think the temperature right now is 19, but it is going to be the most gnarly in terms of, well, let me get this puppy started and we'll kind of explain. The one thing I will say about this Spyder, even in the single digits, it starts right up. In the single digits, I noticed there's like a slight cough. I'm going to just be quiet here for a moment and let you listen to this startup and see if you can hear what I mean by that cough. It didn't do it, but it's... Now, the Spyder says it's 32. It is not 32. It is, I believe, just under 20 degrees. But, so, there's almost too little snow to shovel. When I get back from breakfast, I might actually go ahead and shovel, but it's just a coating. And it looks like it actually is coming down a little now. This was not forecasted, I don't believe, but the problem I'm going to have is it rained yesterday. I washed the Spyder. In fact, let me pull the Spyder out so you can see how clean it is. I'm so proud. But it rained, and we got a good dosing of rain, and then that rain turned to snow as the temperature got colder. Just get off the bike for a second so you can see how clean it is. I'm real proud because it's not easy keeping it clean in these cold temps. So anyway, let's see. I'm amazed it always moves when I take off from that grass patch, and I've done that in some really slippery conditions like this morning. So anyway, what my fear is, okay, so you can see they salted the roads, and that's a good and a bad thing. It's good because I might not have as slick conditions as I thought I might. It's bad because of corrosion, but I'm not as worried about corrosion as I was, and I'll explain in a minute. But clearly, this is the one day where, because of the temperatures, the rain yesterday, and then covering the rain with a light coating of snow, that I'm most concerned about icing conditions. I'm heading to breakfast again. It's a Sunday morning as I'm shooting this. I'm going to schedule this for a Wednesday, but I'm shooting this on a Sunday. This, actually, the main roads, as they usually do, look fine. I mean, this is quite frankly a road that I would ride my two-wheel motorcycle on easily, because it's just like rain. Other than if you were to, let's say, on a two-wheel motorcycle, I'm going to just go over to this lane here. On a two-wheel motorcycle, if you were to turn... Why can I not shift? It's not going out of second gear. Let me downshift. Okay, there's something wrong. My shift lever is sluggish. It downshifted, but it's not moving back. There's something wrong with the shift lever. Okay, so yet another gremlin. So it went into neutral. It went into first. Okay, so this is not the purpose of this video, but what I was going to say, I'm going to just keep it slow here, is if you cross that median, there's probably some dicey conditions in the medium. Let me shift it up to second. Okay, so this is just sluggish. It's hard to explain. I don't know what word to use other than sluggish. I'm going to shift it up to third, and it did, but I'm having to pull it back. It's not the normal, I don't know how to explain it. I'm hoping this is not the coldest day I've ridden, so I don't know. But anyway, back to the Spyder and riding in the winter. So I have a video coming up shortly after this one about my concerns about road salt, because that's my number one concern, is you know, corrosion caused by the road salt. And it's one of the big questions I get on all the videos that I shoot when the conditions are like this. Aren't you concerned about salt? The answer is absolutely. I was concerned about salt before I bought the Spyder because I knew I would have that problem. With my KTM, on the next day where it was above freezing, I could hose the heck out of that thing and know I was getting every nook and cranny of that engine because you could see it. Whereas many components on the Spyder, most of the components on the Spyder are covered by the plastics. So I'm concerned not so much about corrosion on what I can see, I'm concerned about corrosion on what I can't see. And so anyway, I've got a video coming up about that. However, I was at the breakfast I'm going to, this is Sunday morning, I'm going to breakfast with some friends. A couple of the guys said, hey, why don't you go to that new, there's an outdoor car wash, not an outdoor car wash, a self-service car wash. It's actually like kind of contained. There's a garage. Okay, so I wouldn't feel comfortable riding a two-wheel motorcycle right here, because this is a recipe for disaster, and that's the perfect thing for the Spyder. Again, I'm not recommending anyone riding these conditions, but I'm doing it and I feel comfortable doing it. I'm sure they salted the heck out of the bridge because it freezes up quicker than the regular brown. But anyway, they said, hey, why don't you go to that new car wash? A new car wash opened up that's self-service, and I did it, and it was a learning experience. I've got a video coming out about that right after the corrosion video. And where I'm going is, I'm less concerned than I was about keeping this thing corrosion free. Now the big test, the test on this entire experiment, as I mentioned in that video, is I think I'm going to need my next service probably in, let me try to shift again, I'm going to shift up to 4. Okay, so I can shift, but what I can't do is hit the button and just let go, because I've got to pull it back. When I say the button, I mean this lever. You can see the road up ahead is really gnarly. Like, I would never want to be on a two-wheel motorcycle right here, right? On any of this. So anyway, the big experiment is going to be when I have my next service, which is going to be in, I'm thinking May. That'll be the, I think it's the 18,000 mile service. I'm going to have them, I'm going to ask the dealer to take all the plastics off and just give it a good thorough examination, looking for signs of corrosion damage or potential corrosion damage or issues like that. And if they pull me back in the shop and say, you have a major problem here, then this whole experiment could change. If they say, no, clean bill of health, nothing's wrong, then I think this what is now an experiment as a minimalist with the Spyder as my only vehicle will become kind of fixed for me. I am concerned about this shifter. This is not what I wanted to shoot a video on this morning, but what I'm going to do now is I'm hoping the GoPro angle can capture it, but I'm going to, okay, there's someone behind me. I'm going to pull over. I want them to pass me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to upshift, and I'm not going to pull back. I'm going to try to get it so you can see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to shift up to second gear, and I'm going to just press it and then pull aside. See, it didn't come back. Now, what does that mean? Can I upshift to so now I can't upshift to 3. So I had to pull it back this way, and now it will let me upshift to 3. So it's literally no longer pivoting the way it normally does. I don't know if that's the cold. Again, this is not the coldest. I've been in much colder than this. Maybe it's the cold over time and the cumulative effects of riding this in cold weather. I don't know. So other than the side streets, even on this day of, the most concern I've had about the slick conditions, the salters, the other cars. Now, it's a Sunday morning. This all happened on Saturday night. So it's not that like there's a lot of traffic on these roads and when I say Sunday morning, it's not even 8 o'clock yet. So it's not like there might be church traffic or whatever. This is just normal light traffic that is kind of cleared this in such a way so that I can... Now, you'll notice one of the things I learned early on is, you know, if I want the best stability and traction, I want my rear tire to be in the clear patch. Now, the whole road is clear now, but back there where you could see the car tire tracks, I want my rear tire to be in one of those tracks, not in the center, like right here. I don't want what I'm doing right now to have my tire be on the center of that slush, because that could kind of invite a little sliding. If I just pull it over a little bit, so my rear tire's avoiding that. Is that the perfect way to do it? I don't know, but that's the way I'm doing it. So my breakfast place is up there, is right there, and I'm going to fill up. I have an almost full tank. I've only put 24 miles on since the last fill up, but this is going to be in the garage, and I'm going to give you a kind of a short confession as I'm filling up. This is going to be in the garage for the next 3 days, and so I just want it to have a nice topped off tank when I do that. The reason why it's going to be in the garage is because we're going to get some frigid weather. When I say frigid, I mean single digits, maybe even below zero, and heavy winds, so the temperature will be much colder than that. And I've got a meeting out in Lockport, which is 20 miles away, and it's a night meeting. I don't want to mess with that cold, frigid weather, so what I'm going to do for the first time is rent a car for local use. Just a 24-hour rental. I'm going to use it for a lot of other things. You know, grocery store errands and dry cleaners and different places that the seat... I was going to say the seat shock is holding, but it's not. So anyway, my confession to you is I'm renting a car when I could probably use the Spyder and just bundled up. But when I go to those meetings, I need to wear a suit, and dressing up like an Eskimo over a suit isn't always, you know, the smartest thing to do. And beyond that, my concern is what happens if something goes wrong with this thing. This Spyder's been very reliable for me. We have the little gremlins like we learned this morning on the shifter, minor little things, but overall this has never left me on the side of the road. And so from that standpoint, reliability, it has been really good to me. But what happens if that's the night that it gives me my first issue, and I'm on the side of the road 20 miles from home? Like, I just don't want to mess with that. So I'm renting a car. Okay, folks, so anyway, you learn once again how durable the Spyder is. Despite its gremlins, you learn another gremlin. But these are minor things. I can live with that. I hope I don't have to live with that for long. If you like this video, hit that like button. And if you have any comments, please comment. And until the next video, you have a great day. Bye-bye.